Well, I was doing improv classes at Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, and I was working the box office with a girl who was friends with a guy from Georgia. We all went out to drink one night at a place called McPainys Pub, and I had kind of been begging for beers from this guy, and I ended up making him laugh, and he gave me his business card, and it had Space Ghost on the business card. And he said, we could use somebody like you down in Atlanta. And I was like, oh, no, there's no way I'd ever move there. Because I just didn't see it. I never thought of myself living in the South. I'm very much so a Yankee. And so he said, well, here's my friend Adam Reed, and he needs some help with his cartoon. He's working on a cartoon called C-Lab 2021. He now makes Archer. And so he asked if I could draw, and I said, yeah, I can draw really well. And he liked my voice, and he let me write some jokes every once in a while, but I became an animator, and I played a character called Hesh. And so that was basically how it worked out, is that I showed them a couple of my drawings, and they hired me on the spot. I was Hesh the first day on the job, and worked with them for a couple of seasons, became head animator, would storyboard the entire episode, and it was just me and one other guy making C-Lab. I think Archer's made with like hundreds of people now, so it was very small in the beginning. We were all just in one big studio apartment, and they moved down to Atlanta, and I went with them, and that's basically how I got my start. I didn't even know it was nerdcore when I started. It was just me alone in my apartment in Jersey City, writing about stuff that I knew about, that I cared about. And, so I was writing songs, making references to things. I was always making references to Star Wars as soon as I started. And then I did a song about Boba Fett, and that appeared on an episode of C-Lab, and I think that inspired a lot of people, because it was the first thing that was kind of nerdy rap, if you don't include Wu-Tang and all the nerd references that happened in traditional hip-hop before we started. But I think a lot of people saw that C-Lab episode, heard that song, downloaded that record, and from there a lot of different things happened. A lot of people got inspired. A lot of people started writing songs about their own lives, but I would say I was always just a fan of hip-hop, making music about stuff that I liked, and and a lot of other people were doing the same thing because they like nerdy stuff and they like hip-hop, so a lot of people did the same thing at the same time because the conditions were similar. It was the same time, we all went through the same things, and it all just kind of became this awesome thing called nerdcore. Who would I like to collaborate with? Well, I think it'd be cool to do some stuff with Donald Glover. We've made 3 songs. I made 3 songs for him back in the day, and it would be cool to make some new stuff with him. It would be cool to work with Andrew WK again. We've worked together before. I'd like to work with him again. It would be cool to work with Talib Kweli, who's someone I made a song with, and would like to work with him again. And I'm looking to collaborate with Tom Morello, who's been kind of my Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's from Rage Against the Machine. We're from the same town in Libertyville, Illinois, and so we've always kept in touch, and he's always given me advice, and so he might be on the new album, and so lots of different folks like that. MCP Pants came about, well, it's basically just kind of a shitty Chris Tucker impersonation. If you know who Chris Tucker is, from Friday and Fifth Element. And basically they were making fun of a Little Bow Wow, I think at the time, who was big at the time they wrote the episode. And I think they're also looking for a way to, create a episode that I could take part in, because I was always around, always asking them if I could be in an episode. I auditioned for the Leprechauns. I auditioned for Old Drippy. I auditioned for all different kinds of stuff, and they never really found a thing that worked right with me. And so then they were able to come up with this character, and it was a character I, just did right away. Just saw him as somebody who was just screaming their head off all the time, and it worked. And so we did it a couple times. I think the character appears like 6 times. So yeah, it was an awesome thing. Why is nerdcore such a big inspiration to people? Well, I think it's because, it's not just about the references, but it's about what it's like to live this existence. I think the reason we're so into fantasy and escape is because we're living difficult lives, we're going through difficult things, we're being mistreated in society, and so it's a way to find community and find commonplace in our struggles. And also when you go see us live, if you go to say Nerdapalooza or you go see any of the other nerdcore performers live, there's really a sense of camaraderie in the room. A lot of people are dressed the same way. A lot of people are nerds like you are, and so you feel at home, whereas if you went to a concert, you might feel not cool, not hip, like you didn't belong. And so you go to one of our shows, and it can definitely make you feel like you're part of something. Would I like to do more animation? The answer to that is absolutely. I have a cartoon that I made last year with Titmouse, who makes Venture Brothers and Metapocalypse, and it's called the MC Chris cartoon, and that's on YouTube if you want to check it out. Just look for the MC Chris cartoon pilot, and we've basically made 1/3 of it, and we're looking to make the other 2/3. Right now I'm focusing on music, but it's something I'm definitely going to return to, and something I can't wait to return to. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And also, I want folks to check out my new album that comes out sometime this holiday season called MC Chris Forever. It's my 8th album. And we'll be releasing my 2nd kids album, Marshmallow Campground, sometime during the holiday season. And then next year, we'll be releasing a sequel to my album, Friends, called Foes, which is about villains from the DC universe. So all that stuff is coming out soon, and we're going to have a big sale on Black Friday at mcchris.com of all my merch. A lot of the prices will be much, much lower, so thank you again for this interview, and you guys have a great con.